Right before every breakthrough, there's a moment that looks a lot like breakdown. Most people quit right there, one step before it all changes. But some people keep going, because somewhere deep down, they recognize the signs. They know what it feels like right before things shift. Today I'm going to walk you through 5 signs that you're not failing, you're actually getting close. Closer than you think. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which stage you're in. Let me tell you about a version of a story you've probably heard 100 times, in 100 different forms. Someone works a job that barely covers rent. They start a side hustle at night, exhausted, doubting themselves the whole way. For months, sometimes years, nothing seems to move. And then, almost all at once, everything changes. That almost all at once moment is never actually sudden. It's preceded by signs. Let's break them down. The first sign is this. Right before things take off, everything usually gets harder, not easier. This is the point where people quit. The bills feel heavier. The doubt gets louder. The people around you start questioning why you're still doing this. It feels like proof that it's not working. But here's the truth almost nobody tells you. Difficulty right before a breakthrough is not a sign you're on the wrong path. It's often a sign of exactly the opposite. Growth requires friction. Muscles don't grow without resistance, and neither does anything else worth building. If it were easy the whole way, everyone would already have what you're building toward. Second sign, you stop asking, how do I start, and start asking much sharper, more specific questions. Early on, your questions are broad. How do I make money online? What business should I start? But as you get closer to a breakthrough, your questions get precise. How do I price this offer? How do I close this specific type of client? What's the fastest way to fix this one bottleneck? Sharper questions are a sign of real progress. They mean you're no longer standing outside the process wondering where the door is. You're already inside, working through the actual mechanics of getting where you want to go. Third sign, the wins get smaller in size, but bigger in frequency. At the start, you're chasing one massive win, the big client, the big break, the big payout. But right before real momentum builds, something shifts. You start noticing smaller wins landing more often. A message back, a tiny sale, a new follower who becomes a customer, a skill that finally clicks. These small wins are easy to dismiss because they don't feel like making it. But money and success rarely arrive as one giant leap. They arrive as compounding proof, small signals stacking on top of each other until, eventually, they're impossible to ignore. Fourth sign, you start guarding your time and energy differently, even before the money shows up. This is a subtle shift, but a powerful one. You start saying no to distractions you used to say yes to. You stop giving your best hours to things that don't move you forward. You start treating your own time the way a wealthy person treats their time, like it's already worth protecting. This shift usually happens before the money, not after. Because the truth is, wealth isn't just something that happens to you. It's something you start practicing internally first. People who are about to get rich usually start acting like their future is already real, long before the bank account catches up. And the fifth sign, the one that tends to show up right before the real turning point, is a shift in what you're actually afraid of. For a long time, the dominant fear is failure. What if this doesn't work? What if I lose money? What if people laugh? But right before things really start moving, that fear flips. The bigger fear becomes, what if I stop right here? What if I quit one step before it worked? What if the version of me who gave up watches someone else build the exact thing I almost had? When the fear of not trying becomes louder than the fear of failing, that's usually the clearest sign that you're standing right at the edge of a breakthrough. Think about anyone you admire who built real success, financially, professionally, whatever rich means to you. Almost every one of them has a story about the exact moment right before it clicked, where it looked like nothing was working. They don't talk about that moment as the moment they were failing. They talk about it as the moment right before everything changed, the moment they almost quit and didn't. That's the pattern. Not overnight luck, just staying one round longer than the moment it got hard. So let's recap the 5 signs. Things get harder right before they get easier. Your questions get sharper and more specific. Small wins start showing up more often. You start protecting your time like it's already valuable. Your fear shifts from failing to not trying at all. If you're recognizing even 2 or 3 of these in your own life right now, that's not a coincidence. That's a signal. You're closer than you think. If this resonated, Let me know in the comments which sign you're seeing show up in your own life right now. It helps me know what to dig into next, and it might help someone else scrolling through the comments who needs to hear it too. If you found this useful, subscribe, because the next stretch, right before things click, is exactly where most people need the reminder to keep going. You're closer than you think. Keep going.